In my time as a content creator and content strategist, I've found multiple ways to make channels work like 100%, no questions asked. In a shorter or longer frame of time, it really depends on their niche. But even so, like, I'm not joking, I could run 3 channels at a time, if not more, and make them all work. I've decided to not do anything. And even worse, I've decided to completely steer away from that word and stop completely doing content strategy. Because I've even worked as a content strategist, like a freelance one, and I've had some really great opportunities, and I've had some great satisfaction moments. For example, making more than 1,000 in less than 3 days, 3 consecutive times for a client I worked with. At this point of my life, as I've said, I've decided to completely steer away from it, and I want to tell you why in this video, because maybe it is gonna help some of you. Because I'm not saying like I will never do content ever again. As an example, like you're seeing this video right now, which means I'm still doing it. But I'm trying to completely change the mindset around it. To make you understand it better, I want to tell you first like how I managed to study and work in that field for a few years. It has been a few years, like a lot of them actually, thinking about it. But like, I have obsessed over content creation in the past few years. Let's say past few years for the sake of it, because my English kind of sucks. But like, it has been really a long one. And being obsessed with it, like, it made everything easier. Because every time I wanted to test something, and I had nobody to test it with, I would literally go create my own channel and test it there. Doesn't matter what it is, like, doesn't matter the niche, doesn't matter the content, I would do that. If I didn't have someone to try it with, I would try it on my own. But as much as it doesn't seem that bad, because I mean, creating a lot of videos ain't that bad per se, it had another really bad effect on my view of content creation. I stopped first enjoying the content I was watching, because I started looking at it only from an analytical point of view. From the beginning on the homepage, for example, I would open the YouTube homepage, don't even care about what I like anymore. I was looking at thumbnails and titles and views to understand if that video was a nice one, an outlier, we would say, in specific YouTube terms, which means a video that went extremely nicely compared to other ones from the same channel. And if it was, I would make sure it was opening the channel that made the video. And if it was, I would open the video just to analyze it. Analyze how they did it, what the format was, if it was a format, how to replicate it, and so on and so forth. This way, I'm not kidding, I was building an extremely huge database of working videos. And I was doing it by hand, because I've programmed a Python script to make it automatic. But like, I didn't like I didn't like how the fuck do you say it in English? The automation of it. Because like the results were, yes, working, but kinda poor. I wanted that human aspect of it, you know, like the expert mind of it, the expert eyes, looking at what the fuck you're watching and understanding if you can replicate it, how you can replicate it, and where. And so like I started with this outliers database, then I expanded it to a YouTube channels database, then I expanded it to be, what else was it, formats database, then I expanded it to be even more thumbnails databases. Like, you get the point, I was freaking obsessing over it. And as I said, I stopped watching videos because I like them. It was extremely hard for me to enjoy a video. It had to be that well made, especially since I even was a video editor before that, so I would judge even the editing a lot. It had to be extremely, really well made, to the point of making me stop analyzing after 2-3 minutes I was into the video and start enjoying it fully. And sure, YouTube has got some really nice bangers. For example, MrBeast is extremely good at doing what he's doing. Michelle Carey is extremely good. I really love her videos. But like, you get the point, I was literally not having fun watching anymore. And this is the first, like, red flag you should get. I didn't because I was obsessing over it. And when I mean obsessing, I mean literally doing just that all day. Not even kidding. Only focusing on YouTube all day. Nothing else in my life. Usually I would like tell to friends I was busy. Working opportunities, I was like, nah, shut the fuck, I don't give a shit. I've got my YouTube thing going. I don't know, like everything. If people told me if I wanted to go out, if I had like the mentality in that moment to do YouTube stuff, I would fucking tell everyone to fuck off, and gently, obviously, and just do the YouTube stuff, which you can imagine it is not good, but like that's a problem I have on my own. It is not YouTube specific. I just obsess over stuff and I'm trying to work on it. Maybe I'll do a video about it later on, who knows. And like, that's the amount of obsession I had. That's the first thing, as I've said, I stopped enjoying watching videos. The next thing, not counting the testings that I did, but like I had a few channels back then, even monetized them, some of them. And like, I started making content in there, yes, to test some stuff, as I've said, because they were no exception. But even because I wanted to grow a channel of my own, right? I wanted to have my own voice. I wanted to share my passions. I wanted to do something that it was not just testing. I wanted to be myself a little bit. And at first it was going bad. Like, not numbers-wise. Numbers-wise, it was always going good. The problem is, I was not being myself. I was training to be a YouTuber, let's say. I was training, that YouTuber voice. I was training that being fluent, talking fluently, which is a great skill that I'm still grateful of. In English, it is obviously harder for me because it is not my main language. I'm Italian. But like, I came to a certain point in which I could fake it really nicely. Like, I'm not even kidding. And I did it for a while, which you may understand is when I started not liking what I was doing. Because doing videos at first was fun. I always tried to make, yes, videos that would have worked, don't get me wrong, but videos that I still enjoyed doing, or at least the thought of it, I enjoyed doing. Then once I started doing it, I was not enjoying them at all. And I did a lot of videos that had no sense, working business-wise, but I really liked doing, so I just did them. And it was not really a balance, but it is probably the closest thing I came to be considered a balance, which was kind of nice. And it was when I was doing that bad at Italian content. Then the game became really awful, because the more you play it, like when you force yourself to play it a lot, that game is really, really boring as hell, because it is the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again. I don't know nowadays, but like way back then it was, at least. And so I burnt out on my own channel for the first time. Then I tried like going back at it, changing what I was doing, but like still applying that business perspective, right? And that business perspective only got stronger and stronger compared to the sharing my passion stuff. I was still obsessed about it, don't get me wrong, and I still kind of am somehow. We'll reach that point later on in this video. But like, that perspective was growing on me, and the passion and fun side of things started really going bad, and disappearing slowly. I mean, I've gotta say, probably now, thinking about it, it was even because I was unemployed and I felt the pressure of making money somehow, even if I don't needed it, like I had a roof over my head, I still do. I still am employed. I did work though in the meanwhile, don't get me wrong. But like, now I don't feel the pressure because I know my capabilities, I know what I could do, I know what I want to do, and so I'm working towards that slowly as I should. But back then, that was not a thing. Back then it was obsession and I've gotta make it work, I've gotta make it work, I've gotta make it my job, I somehow gotta make it work. To the point where it began to be only a thing about numbers, right? And those numbers, especially in Italy, weren't really that great, which is one of the reasons why I decided to later on go to English content, which you're seeing right now. I mean, not this one, the older one, theoretically. But like, I decided to go, I still remember, on Fortnite, because Fortnite is one of the biggest games ever. I've even worked as a video editor for some of the biggest creators in Italy, and they were doing Fortnite too, so like I had a lot of insight around that. And like, it was going really great, don't get me wrong. I made, I think, 7 videos, maybe. I got instantly monetized from the Dead by Daylight leftover I had. I was growing a shit ton, and I started making some money actually. Like I think I did get a few payouts, probably 3 or 4 before I abandoned it. With only 7 videos, I remind you, like that's a lot, especially in Italy, because like the amount of viewers and the same, it really hits different. Like a 20,000 views video would be considered the holy grail. Well, in the international scheme of things, it is working, but not that much. We'll talk about the numbers in a little bit, because saying it still kind of sounds strange to me right now. And so, like, it became really a numbers game. Like, I just wanted to make money out of it. I always tried to enjoy what I was doing, and the nice thing was that I enjoyed the strategy part of it. What I didn't enjoy was filming the videos. And editing them. You know, I've always tried looking for an editor. It has been extremely hard because most of them are really good at editing, at least who I could afford, which I'm not saying I'm paying people €5 an hour, because I wouldn't pay myself that, so I wouldn't pay anybody else. But like, I was broke. I just had some job money left. And with those, like, especially Italian editors back at the time were really not that great, because maybe, and it goes even with international ones, they were extremely great at editing. They got like extreme editing skills for making cool effects. They had a good sound effect library. Problem is that no fucking clue about how YouTube works, which is the most important thing editing wise. And I've learned it through like making my bones stronger. I don't know how you say it in English, but like I got destroyed morally a lot of times as a video editor, and that's the thing I was missing. So I had to edit my own videos, and it was just not a thing I was enjoying doing, editing and recording, as I've said. So at a certain point, I just stopped doing it because I burnt out again. And I decided to go to the English side of things, both to like reset, kind of, and even to try doing what I like, having the possibility of making it a job. I was trying to search for that equilibrium, right? The do what you like, but make it a job and make it work, so that you can do it more. What I've learned through time, though, not only thanks to those years of YouTube, but even other works, other jobs, even recently, for example, with restaurants, because I studied, I went to a culinary academy, not a school, because I'm old. And like, I've learned, other than working beforehand, before going there in a restaurant, a really good one, don't get me wrong. We're talking 3 Michelin star level. And doing that academy, and doing the academy stage in another Michelin guide restaurant, I was like, you know what? This is not what I want to do in my life. I love cooking, but I do not want all the work that is behind it. It is not made for me. So I'm transitioning to baking right now, which I really like way more. And it doesn't have like the problems I've found in restaurants. It has its own problems, don't get me wrong. It is still a shit work in a sense. But like, the same happened with YouTube, right? I was like, okay, I'm not enjoying what I'm doing anymore, so I will stop doing it. And this was kind of the time when the academy came. Both because I really didn't have that much time to spare after the academy, and because I wanted to like steer away from that content creation world as much as possible, I decided to stop being a content strategist. I was just helping 2 or 3 people that were friends of mine, just for the fun of it, for the sake of it, and call it a day. I stopped making content and I disappeared. And that, I think, was a great idea, because after a while I came back to it and I opened my, let's say, first channel, theoretically, English channel, and I rebranded it completely to make content creation educational stuff, right? This is not the channel, by the way. This one you're watching this video in is not the quotes main channel. But after a while, even that, like, I stopped. I decided to stop even that and just focus on the academy and the cooking stuff, right? After I was done with the cooking academy, I finally had some time, and I decided to come back at streaming. It is really not that far from when this video is released. And this time, I didn't stream because I wanted to make it as a job. It doesn't even make sense streaming if you want to make it as a job as a content creator, to be fair. I streamed because I wanted to, right? You can say a mix between missing the people I didn't hear from for months, since I didn't stream and didn't even use Discord in that span of time. both because I just always, even as a kid, enjoyed streaming. I just loved like gaming, sharing my passions, helping people that come in chat, talk with them, and so on and so forth. And so I went back at it, completely random one day, and I liked it. I did what I liked. I didn't care as much about numbers. I mean, I did have all of them hidden anyways. It is a really good tip that I give to every small streamer, especially, but every streamer in general. Hide them. Hide your view count. But like, I enjoyed it. And so I was like, you know what? I should try going live whenever I feel like. No schedule, no pressure, no need to do anything specific. Whatever the fuck I want to do that day, I'll just do it. And you know, I'll say it was a great idea. It helped me starting like to steer away from that business mentality, which I really still try to avoid as much as possible. Don't get me wrong, it still haunts me sometimes. I still gotta keep, feed it, right? Imagine it as a wolf. You learn, you teach that wolf to hunt every single day of its life for at least 6 hours a day, if not 8, if not 12, okay? I'm not kidding when I'm saying 12. And then all of a sudden you go, you know what? There's no need to hunt anymore. That wolf has still got the instinct, right? I've still got the business mind about content creation. I cannot make it disappear like snap of a finger one day disappeared. I still have it. I'm just trying to make it stay chill a little bit, right? I'm just trying to keep it fed, give it that hunting period, but slowly decrease it over time, to a point in which we could say I'll find the equilibrium between having fun and doing stuff, which, to be fair, right now, I'd say would be just doing what I like and don't care about anything else. And it is gonna be hard. I'm telling you, it is gonna be hard. It is hard already now. But like, I'm doing my best at it, and I'm proud of myself for being able to do so for now. In fact, the only hunting part that is left now is posting some shorts sometimes. Theoretically, it is one a day, but like, as I've said, I'm trying to chill as much as possible, so I don't care that much about it. But this is my way to keep that business wolf-like perspective chill, while doing what I like anyways. And I think this is like a thing that most content creators miss nowadays, because I mean, we've even seen it with new generations, right? Kids nowadays want to be a content creator. They don't want to be astronauts or firefighters anymore. They want to be content creators, which is really fun to me, thinking about it. And with time, we could say even with the beastification of content a little bit, people lost the real idea behind being a content creator, especially a streamer, to be fair, but content creator in general. And it is literally enjoy what you're doing, sharing it with like-minded people. So what I want to do, and I'll try my best to do in this period of time, even though it hurts, like, because I know it hurts my chances, it hurts my business side of things, it hurts thinking that I could make something work and make it my job, but I do not even try. I'm trying to go back at the roots of content creation, and honestly speaking, I would advise you to do so too. And it's just doing what you enjoy, when you enjoy it, and not be forced about anything you do. It is hard. I can tell you it is hard. But like, I'll use the example I like the most, especially when it comes to content creation, like streaming specifically, to make you understand what I mean. Nowadays, because of how the content community works and how being a content creator is popular as a thing, we've lost track of numbers for what they really mean. Imagine being live with 5 viewers, right? You would think you're a small streamer, that you're a nobody. Even though, honestly speaking, statistics are not agreeing with you, but like, let's say you are. For the common people, you are a small streamer. Now, transition that thought into you being in a room with 5 people listening and talking to you. Are there really not a lot of people? Like, honestly speaking, are there really not a shit ton of people? 5 of them. Staying with you for hours, listening to what you say, watching what you do, and talking back to you. Ain't those a shit ton of people? 5? Imagine now 10. Imagine that streamers are still considered small at 70. Like, you could fill a fucking stadium with 70 people. You know what I mean? I'm trying my best to go back to those roots of content creation. Doesn't matter if it works or not, because I'm enjoying it. You know, that's the positive thing. And honestly speaking, I think a lot of people should do that too. I'm not saying you should not have the business mind of it, because it is important. If you want to make it your job, and you want, like, maybe you don't want, but you have people that depend on you for paychecks, it is really important to make it a business. But if you just want to do what you like, fuck that idea off, like, as soon as possible. It will only help you.